Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I thought I'd bring you back to another hypothetical scenario video, which I'd like to call Who Would Win? In this video series, I talk about who would win in a hypothetical fight. Usually it's with two characters of completely different franchises that have no way in hell of actually crossing paths or meeting one another on the big screen any day sometime in the future. But it would be fun to think about what a fight between two characters would look like. And in honor of Dune coming out soon, both on HBO Max and in theaters later this week, I thought it would be fun if we talked about a hypothetical scenario of who would win in a fight between a Graboid from the horror franchise Tremors and a Sandworm from the original 1984 Dune. So be prepared to be blown away. I don't know where I was going with that. Excuse me. Obviously, even though both films are over 30 years old, spoilers, I guess, I might be referring to the events of both the first Tremors film and the original Dune. Actually, you might want to watch this video with caution because I may or may not be referring to the original Dune, and we may or may not see similar adaptations in the remake coming out later this week. So you have been warned. That being said, let's dive right back into it. So first and foremost, obviously, this isn't much of a fight or a contest. I'm just going to flat out say it. The Sandworm would win simply because of its enormous, massive size. You know, the Graboids are pretty big too, but compared to the size of a Sandworm, a Graboid would be the size of a cow. It would be like putting a Holstein cow next to a humpback whale or a blue whale, the biggest animal on Earth, a blue whale. That's what it would look like, a cow next to a blue whale. So obviously, no contest. All what would have to happen is like the two worms would charge at each other and the Sandworm would just have to open its enormous mouth. And the Graboid, despite its best efforts with its scary monster tongues, would go roaring at it, and then the whole Sandworm would just gobble it right up with no problem like that. So not much of a contest. However, there is one scenario where I could see the Graboid winning, or should I say Graboids, if there was a whole pack of Graboids, let's say maybe 12, like a dozen or 2 dozen. Perhaps a big pack of Graboids could take down one Sandworm alone. They would all repeatedly have to hit it from the side, like coming from all directions. And they'd be hitting it from the side, and they'd be taking chunks of meat out of it as they bite it, like back and forth, just biting big chunks out of it. Kind of like a shark feeding frenzy that you see in those nature documentaries when there's a big whale carcass and the sharks just go nuts and tear the thing to shreds. It would be similar to that, except the Sandworm would probably put up more of a fight because in this case, unlike the dead whale in real life, this Sandworm would still be alive. But if it lost enough blood and the Graboids took enough chunks of flesh out of it as they repeatedly attacked it nonstop, the Graboids might stand a chance and win that fight. But in a single fight where it's one Graboid up against one Sandworm, not much of a contest. The Sandworm would gobble that Graboid up, which is too bad because I'm more of a Tremors fan than I am of a Dune fan. I honestly only liked the original Dune for the Sandworms. They were like the only highlight and frankly the only good part of that crappy movie for me. This remake, however, looks 100 times better, sounds and looks way more promising, and it sounds like there was little to no production problems behind the scenes while this film was being made, unlike the original from 1984, which had a slew of production problems and creative control and clashes and whatnot, which is why we got the movie that we did, and why it didn't really go anywhere besides a couple of TV shows and whatnot, which also weren't that popular. But Dune seems to have a very promising fresh start on the horizon with this new film coming out later this week in theaters and on HBO Max the same day. And I believe that day's been moved up a bump, so it is actually technically coming out tomorrow, both in theaters and on HBO Max, because originally it was going to be in theaters this Friday, the 22nd, but now it'll be tomorrow, the 21st. So yay! I'm still saving to watch it with my friend on the big screen, so I'm very excited about that, because a movie of this scale and magnitude needs to be seen on the big screen. So, but I also thought to myself, what would a fight between a Graboid and a Sandworm look like, since they're both worm-like creatures with voracious appetites, who would win? And then it quickly dawned on me, the sandworm, simply because of its enormous fucking size. So that's what I think. And I hate saying that too, because like I said, I am way more of a Tremors fan than I am a Dune fan. But maybe this new movie will change my mind, but I'll still always love Tremors in my heart. So what do you guys think about this scenario? Who do you think would win, or who do you want to win in a fight between a Graboid and a sandworm? Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Have an awesome rest of your night, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for my eventual film review for this movie once I see it tomorrow night. I think it's going to be a good one. Have an awesome rest of your night, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.